Hey everybody, Papa Wiggs here with Wiggs. We're going to talk about our Week 4 sleepers. I'll jump start it here. Listen, uh, Rome Dunzi, I think he came out last week, had a really good game. Obviously, if Allen's back, uh, you know his production could go down. I think he's still a sleeper here because um, they're going up against the Rams this week. The Rams defense is, they're right in the middle of the pack, and I think Moore's gonna um, garner a lot of the attention. And even if Allen is back, I still think Udunzi's proven that he needs to be in that starting lineup. So he's my first sleeper. I think he'll be involved in the offense. My next guy here, Braylon Allen. I think everybody's a little bit surprised how much they've used him in the last couple weeks, including this guy right over here. Um, and the Jets are going up against the Broncos. The Broncos defense is a little stingy. I think Hall's still going to have a good game, but I think the Jets are going to use both Hall and Allen quite a bit in this game. I really do. I think they're going to use them to compensate for the fact that Garrett Wilson is probably going to struggle in this game. The receivers are going to find it a little bit difficult against these DBs. So I can see Aaron Rodgers using both Allen and Hall quite a bit in this game, not only, checking off to rushes, but also passing to him. So I think he's definitely someone that I would consider a sleeper. Next guy here, Hunter Henry. Uh, you know, I, last week I know he didn't have that great of a week. I still think that he's got potential to be a sleeper this week. New England is playing the 49ers. I think the 49ers defense is going to look to try to bounce back at home. So I think these receivers for the Patriots haven't been living up to their game. So I definitely could see Hunter having being a potential sleeper and popping off in this game. My next guy here, I know Wiggs was a little surprised. I think he was thinking he was going to catch me on something, but is Ray McLeod. Listen, he's been really impressive. Wiggs, don't you agree? I mean, him and Mooney. I mean, you've been really high on Mooney, but Kirkle's been looking at both him and Mooney quite a bit. The Saints are a tough defense. Kirk's going to be spreading the ball around this week again. I think Drake London isn't going to go crazy because he's going to be he's going to be getting a lot of attention from the tough defensive backs of the Saints and stuff. So I could see Ray actually popping off in this game as well as a sleeper. So someone that you might want to, if you're looking at somebody on your bench or you got somebody hurt, someone you might want to consider. My next guy here is Bucky Irving for Tampa Bay. They play the Eagles. Listen, Rashad White hasn't been lighting it up this year. I know Wiggs isn't very happy about that. And Bucky's actually been getting more involved in the offense. And I could see them using him, just like I mentioned with Braylon Allen. I think White's going to be used a lot as well, but I can see Bucky being used in this game quite a bit as well. So he was another one of my sleepers this week.
Yeah, and I went with Ray McLeod. Just looking at this Atlanta Falcons offense, it's really hard to pick out one receiver in this offense that has the pop off potential. Kirk's been spreading the ball around a lot, and I just think here in this week, like you said, they're playing a tougher defense, and I think Ray McLeod's gonna have to be the guy getting open. I'll be honest, I have no hopes for Pitts right now because the Falcons are still showing no sense of trying to get him the ball really at all in this offense. So I think someone like Ray McLeod will benefit from that. And it's really shocking to me that the Falcons aren't really doing too much to get Pitts the ball, but it is what it is, and you kind of just have to look at your other options here. And Kirk's been doing that. He's not really been targeting Drake London as much as I thought he would. He's actually been targeting Darnell Mooney a little bit more than London to this point, but he also does like to take shots down the field with McLeod or across the middle of the field where he can get the speedy wide receiver in McLeod the ball, and he's taken advantage on the receptions he's gotten so far. And I think moving forward, he'll be a really big piece of this offense because Kirk knows how to utilize his guys as long as he's not making mistakes. Next up, and this might be a little bit of a hot take, I'm taking Bo Nix. I'm actually a lot more impressed by Bo Nix than I thought I would be this year. I personally think he's probably the second best rookie quarterback at the moment. Yes, he's thrown 4 picks, I get that, but he's thrown for a decent chunk of yards in each of the games. He's been trying to, be consistent. It's just a matter of his interceptions. If he doesn't throw so many picks, um, I think he could be a lot better off, and obviously, I think he'd have around like 850 throwing because some of those picks ended drives early. But I got a feeling this week will be the week he finally throws his first touchdown rather than running some in, and I could see him actually throwing for 2 or 3 because I have this weird stupid feeling this Broncos and Jets game is not going to be a low scoring game this week. I think it's going to be a offensive battle, which is weird because both these defenses are really good, and I just got this weird feeling it's going to be higher scoring than we expect. Jalen Naylor is going to be the next guy up on my list here. He's been consistent here with getting the ball in the red zone. He's got 3 touchdowns in 3 games, won a game. Sam Darnold does like looking at him in that red zone. I think obviously Justin Jefferson's going to get a lot of attention here against the Packers. It's a divisional game. He's going to have Alexander matching up on him. It wouldn't surprise me if Naylor gets maybe a few more targets there in the red zone. Not like anything crazy. I'm talking like 2 or 3 more targets possibly. And I could totally see him snagging his 4th touchdown here this week. I don't think it matters if Addison's playing or not. I think Naylor's going to get a decent share of targets here this week because he's kind of a sleeper just in general. He's kind of under the radar. He should have had a 4th touchdown last week. It got called back due to holding by Jones, but Darnold's liking him, and I wouldn't doubt it if we saw Naylor getting a few more looks here in weeks to come. And then next up, Jacoby Myers. You can make an argument to start him. The reason I have him as a sleeper is just because I don't know who's going to be the quarterback this week. I agree with you with what we've talked about after the games. If O'Connell is in, I think Myers is going to have a really good game because I think O'Connell is going to be looking his way a lot more than Minshew does. But if Minshew's in, then I think Myers is more of a sleeper pick because you look at the game there and Myers was the main target there for O'Connell and the few passes he had in that game. So um,
either way, I think he's still a good sleeper because they're playing the Browns, and the Browns DBs are pretty good.
Yeah.
They're definitely, going to be all over Devontae. So
I definitely think he's start worthy as a flex. I just think it really matters at who's playing at the quarterback spot here this week. And then lastly, I have Jackson Smith Najigba JSN. I just got this weird feeling this week that he's gonna, bounce back. I think Detroit's gonna make a focus there on Metcalf, obviously, in Detroit. They haven't looked that great so far on defense, but I think them focusing on Metcalf this week is just really going to open up JSN for quite a few targets. I think he's going to end up with 6 or 7 receptions for, I want to say like 108 yards and a possible touchdown. I just got this weird feeling he's going to go for like a good 40-yard catch and run for a touchdown and then have, some solid other catches throughout the game.
Jeez, Riggs, now you gave me something to think about with my lineup in the one league, so I may have to reach out to those fantasy fools on PPR and ask them about my lineup. So, no, interesting picks. I think the Naylor one's interesting to me. I definitely think he has potential to be a sleeper because Jared Alexander's going to be shooting his mouth off all week about how he's going to be guarding Justin Jefferson one-on-one, and he'll shut him down, which he never does. I mean, he's one of the guys that cracks me up. He spout off his mouth last year. Oh, I shut him down, and I watched the film afterwards, and every single time he had high safety help. He had other safety help. There was 2 or 3 guys on Jefferson, so I do like your Naylor sleeper pick because I think even if Addison is back, I think some of these guys, like I mentioned with Udunzi, I think some of these guys have worked their way into the offensive schemes because of the success that they've had so far. So I agree with you there. So your Bo Nix pick, interesting. I'm not sure I'm on board with that one against the Jets defense, but hey, you also picked the Giants to win last week, and they did. So, and I wasn't on board with that. So maybe you'll get that right too. So I can't say anything against that because you did pick the Giants last week. So, do you have anything else to add on this one, Wiggs?
Nope.
All right. Well, hey everybody, check us out, Fantasy Fools PPR on YouTube. We're also on Snapchat, X, TikTok, Instagram. Like, share, subscribe. If you got any questions or feedback, reach out to us. We appreciate it. And until next time, we'll see you soon.